everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do about 3 a week. So if you like a lot of content and you want to see more from me, then please subscribe. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. I'll always reply. For those returning, welcome back, my friends. I hope you're all well and thank you for spending some more time with me today. So yeah, let's get into today's video. So for today's video, I wanted to upcycle an old candle holder that I picked up from a charity shop. I paid £3 for it. It's a little bit tired and it needs a little bit of TLC, so I thought today that's what I would work on. I'm also using an old vase that I picked up from a charity shop. It had gems stuck around the outside. I've took them off, but I'm going to be covering it, so I've not completely cleaned it. It's going to be hidden anyway, but I'm also using some scrapbook paper. This is a pad that I picked up from the works that I paid £2 for, and I'm going to be using the wood pattern at the back, which have got some little snowflakes on. Then I'm using a mixture of foliage and flowers that I picked up from my local market. I pay £1 a bunch, and these are new ones that I've not seen them have before, so I'm really excited to work with these today. Then I'm also using some of the peacock green metallic acrylic paint from Poundland. It's quite thin, this stuff, but I really love the colour of it, so I'm going to mix it with my more expensive acrylic paint. So the blue was £1 and the white I get from my art shop, and they're £4 for a tub. Then I'm going to use some of the decorative stickers from Poundland, some pearl garland from Poundland. I was planning on using some of the mini wooden plaques from the works, but in the end I decided not to use them. But I did use some of the pearl braids from Poundland, which are £1 a pack, so I used 2 packs of them. You'll also need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, a pair of tweezers, a pair of wire cutters, a ruler and a pen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rope handle off the top. It's painted white, it's brown underneath and it's painted white and it's flaking off. And I just don't think I'm going to be able to salvage it. So I'm just going to use a craft knife and cut off the rope handle. And then I'm going to take off the heart, and then I'm going to do exactly the same to the other side. But I'm going to leave the rope around the top, and this is because it's hiding all the sticks of wood that's in the centre of the candle holder. So I'm going to leave the top bit on, but I'm going to take the other handle off. So I normally try and keep everything that I can and recycle, but there's nothing I'm going to be able to do with that, so I'm going to have to put it in the bin. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the paint that I want, and I will be back. So I've mixed the peacock green and the white paint together to get a light teal colour. And now all I'm going to do is just paint the outside of the candle holder. I'm going to do 2 coats. So I'm going to do the first coat, let it dry, and then I'm going to do another coat. I'm going to leave the pieces of wood in the centre. I'm going to leave them white, and I'm just going to do the outside. So I'm just going to put something good on the TV, sit down and start to paint. It took me about an hour to do the 2 coats, so not too long. So I've done 2 coats, I've let it dry now, and it's dried a lot darker than I had it in the tub, and I'm happy with that. It matches my colour scheme. So now I'm going to work on the vase in the middle, and it does fit, and I'm not going to glue this in. I'm going to leave it loose so that I can take it out if I want to and put a candle in it, and then, you know, I can always put the vase back in when I want. So I'm going to decorate this using the scrapbook paper. And I've picked the one that I want, and now I'm just going to turn it over and measure the side of the vase. Now, depending on if you're using a taller vase will depend on what measurements you use. So I just measured the side of the vase, and I'm going to mark it on the back of the paper draw a line and then cut it with a pair of scissors. So in my paper, I'm having the lines go horizontal, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut a few pieces of the width of the wood, and this is to put at the back of the vase. The piece of paper doesn't quite fit around the whole of the vase, so I'm going to stick these down first and then put the paper around it. So I'm going to stick the strips down first. I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and then pop them in place. And I'm going to work my way from the bottom of the vase to the top and then cut off the excess. And now I've done the strip at the back, I'm going to just take my section of scrapbook paper, pop a little bit of glue at the end, I'm just going to stick that in place and then wrap it around the vase and then glue it at the other end. So now that's dry, I'm going to just pop a little bit of Oasis in the top of this vase. I didn't think I had any left and I managed to find a piece, so I'm just going to use what I've got. I just need to trim the edges of it so that it'll fit in place, and then I'm going to glue that in place. I really dislike using this. I always say it, yeah, I hate cutting it, I don't like using it, but it does the job. So I'm just getting it to the size that I want, and then I'm just going to glue that in with some hot glue. So the Oasis is in the top of the vase, and now we can get on to the next section. So I'm going to shift the camera around so you can see me do the flower arrangement, and yeah, I'll be back in a second, guys. So I'm going to speed up the video quite a lot, and I'm just going to explain the first bit, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut single stems of these flowers. I'm going to cut single stems of these long green leaves as well, and I'm going to cut them in half so that they're shorter. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the blue flowers and the white, I don't know what they're called, with the like furry fluffy things on the end. I don't know what flowers they are. So I'm going to do exactly the same with them, and I'm just going to start to arrange the flowers. I'm going to work from the back to the front, so the back will be longer and the front will be shorter, and I'm just going to completely cover out the Oasis. I'm going to pop what I want in the middle and then do what I want mirroring on the right and the left on each side, so it's completely mirrored. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some music on in a little bit, and I'm just going to let you watch what I do while I speed up the video. So I've done all the flower arranging and I've moved the camera back to an overhead view, and we can get on to the next section. So I'm going to paint the top and the bottom. I was going to leave the white originally, but now that I've put the flowers in, I'm actually going to paint it blue. So I'm going to do it exactly the same colour as I did the outside of the candle holder. I'm going to do 2 coats and let it dry, and I'll be back. So to finish off the outside, I'm going to add some of the pearl garland around the top, and I'm just going to glue that in place with hot glue. And then once I've gone around the top, I'm going to do exactly the same at the bottom. I'm just going to go around the bottom of the candle holder. And this is what it looks like with the pearl garland. So to finish the top bit off, I'm going to take some of the pearl braids and I'm going to cut off the strips of metal off the back using a pair of wire cutters, and then I'm going to glue these in place around the top of the candle holder. And what I'm going to do is every time that a piece of the wood gets to the top of the neck of the candle holder, I'm going to glue one of the embellishments. So I'm just going to use hot glue and stick that in place. Like so, and then I'm going to move on to the next one, which will be about there. I'm going to work my way around the top of the neck all the way around. So now I'm just going to finish off the front bit. I've sped the video up again, and I'm just going to glue 2 of these long leaves that are left over from the white flowers. I'm just going to trim off the ends, and then I'm going to stick the heart in the centre. And I always check every time I do a step, I always check to see what it looks like. And then I'm going to add 3 of these little bits of leaves. And then to add a little bit of colour, I'm going to add some of the blue flowers that we put in the top of the vase. And I'm just going to add 2. One in between each of the leaves that we've just put in place. And then to finish off, there's like a little, where the ribbon was tied to the heart, there's like a little metal hoop. I'm going to hide that with one of the butterfly stickers. And then I'm going to glue this to the front of the candle holder, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here it is, all finished. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've added a couple of butterflies to the top of the flower arrangements. And yeah, I'm really happy that I upcycled it. It was looking a little bit tired, and I love how it turned out. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. If you made it this far, thank you for your continued support. And I will see you on Friday for my next craft video. I think I'm going to do a garland. I've got an idea for like a really nice spring garland, so I think I'm going to get on with that now that I've finished this. All right, take care for now. See you on Friday. Bye for now.